Hey, welcome back to Socialette. This is episode 446. How I get my energy back after a launch. Because as anyone who has launched will tell you, or most people who have launched will tell you, launching can be exhausting, right? Even if you're super organized, you have everything scheduled ahead of time, you've launched many times before, the energy that it takes showing up live and showing up for your audience and the emotional roller coaster of, oh, there was a sale. Oh, nobody bought today. Oh, there were 3 sales today. Like that emotional roller coaster. Oh, that exhausts you. And especially if you are an introvert like I am, I love presenting on a webinar. Don't get me wrong. I love showing up live. But afterwards, I need to nap for 3 days. But unfortunately, when it's cut open, I don't have that luxury of napping for 3 days after a webinar because I tend to teach 3 or 4 back to back, like one in the morning, one in the evening, one the next day. And that can be really exhausting. It can be really draining. This particular launch that I did was doubly exhausting. I recently wrapped up my Launch Magic launch a couple of days ago. So I'm still in that post-launch days as I'm recording this. But this particular launch was extra exhausting because I also bought and moved house at the same time. I moved into my house a couple of weeks before Cart Open, which was good timing. I'm glad I didn't move into my house right at the same time as Cart Open. And shout out to one of my best friends, Anita, who some of you might know from Wordfetti. She did Cart Open a couple of days after they moved into their new house, which I don't know how she did it. In the past, when I have launched, I've often gone straight from cart close into teaching the course. So I'd often have cart close on the Friday or the Saturday, and then I'd kick off the course on the Monday. And that's okay, but what's happened in the past is that's led to me kicking the can down the road and just pushing through that exhaustion, which has led to me feeling drained, not so excited about my business, and it's put me into ruts where I really just haven't wanted to work because I've been so exhausted. Now I'm kind of preempting before I get into a launch. I know, okay, I'm going to be a bit tired after I launch. Let's just make sure I have a few days to recuperate in between. So with this launch, I close doors on Wednesday and the course kicks off on Monday. So that gives me a few days to, sleep in, not do a whole lot of work, just catch up on the tasks that sort of got pushed to the side while I was launching, hanging out in the Launch Magic community and getting to know this round of students. That's been something I didn't really have time to do in previous rounds because I was so busy in between closing doors and starting the course. The other things I've been doing have been reading fiction books, unpacking my house, doing little chores around the house. I have a lot of paintings and things that need hanging. I've been planting things in the garden. I've bought 1 million new indoor plants. Having that space to be able to do that makes me better able to show up in my business. Even if it doesn't feel like I'm being productive, it makes me a much better business owner as a result. So it's really just about giving myself permission to not be productive for a while. And one thing I actually want to talk about is celebrating your launch, because this launch, I didn't hit my launch goal. It was still an objectively successful launch. I just didn't have a big enough audience to reach that big goal that I wanted to reach. But even though I didn't hit that goal, I still celebrated my launch with a really lovely dinner, because it's not so much about celebrating the result, it's celebrating who I became in the process of this launch. I started really tiptoeing into my next level, which started to bring up all sorts of doubts and fears and the messy emotions, but that is so worth celebrating, and I don't see enough people celebrating. So there you go. That is how I'm getting my energy back from this launch. Stay tuned for the next couple of episodes because I'm going to be deep diving into some of the things that I learned from this launch and what I'm planning on doing, what I'm doing now to prepare for the next launch. So if you're not already following this podcast in Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you know of any friends who you think would benefit from listening to this podcast, please do tell them about it. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for listening. Catch you next time.